Good afternoon. My name is Bob Glenn, and it's my privilege and honor to be the president here at Athens State University and to be the one to welcome you to this 195th commencement. Since for some of you this will be your first encounter with the formal academic procession and ceremony, we thought it might be helpful to spend just a moment talking about the ritual and symbolism you're about to encounter. In your program, you'll find a brief description of academic regalia and its history. What you will not find in there are the reasons why we choose to don regalia on this occasion. The wearing of academic robes goes back to medieval times. In medieval times, a person's dress clearly designated who that person was. It was, in fact, an absolute expression of not only who you were, but also of your station in society. When you looked at a person, you knew immediately everything you needed to know about whom you were meeting and how you were expected to respond to that person. At that time, there were no libraries and no universities. Books were a scarce commodity, and consequently so was knowledge. Possessing knowledge was a considerable power. Coming into the possession of knowledge was one of the very few ways a person could move up in a world where there was a rigid society. If one was able to learn how to read, finding books would be the next obstacle. There are only two places to find a book: monasteries and private libraries. Monasteries were the only place where books could be accessed by someone not of noble birth. Men who wanted to seek after knowledge and better their lot in life came to the monastery to find it. In most cases, these seekers of knowledge were young clerics. They became a part of the monastery in order to have access to the knowledge they sought. They were required to wear the clerical robes as a declaration to the world of the path they had chosen. In doing so, they did more than simply declare their identity. They also took on certain responsibilities to everyone they encountered. To put on the robe was a life-changing event. A person who put on the robe of a cleric was committing himself to a life of service to others. As time progressed, the wearing of robes became increasingly symbolic. At universities, as they became separate from monasteries, the robes and the universities developed a separate identity. The meaning of the robe changed. The academic robes you see today became associated with teaching. But even in change, the real meaning of the robe remained basically the same. The wearing of the academic robe by our faculty is still an expression of who we are and what purpose we are supposed to serve in society. It carries with it certain obligations. Concepts like academic integrity and service are an inherent part of accepting a place in the community of scholars. When we wear the regalia, we are still saying to society that we are seekers of knowledge, that we are here to serve others, and that we recognize our obligations to those who are present. 1,000 years ago, when a cleric put on the robe, he was saying that he was a new person, a member of a new community. Today, your graduates are donning their robes to proclaim to you that they are a different person. Today, they become a graduate, a full member of the community of scholars. When a cleric put on the robe, it was a life-changing event. Your graduate dons this robe in the same hope that for him or her it will change their life as well. Just like all the clerics of old and all the students who have passed through the halls of academia since then, and all the graduates of this institution over the last 195 years, your graduate has worked long and hard to get to this day. And when they march out here in that robe, we will be celebrating their accomplishment. The ritual of commencement gives us a root as an institution. It connects us with the rich heritage of the past while also opening up the horizon of our future. Your presence here today represents the roots from which these graduates come. Roots give us nourishment, they sustain us, and they give us stability. Your presence here today gives each graduate a connection to who they are and gives us a reason to come together to celebrate where they are going next. And so, ladies and gentlemen, in honor of 195 years of tradition on this campus, over 1,000 years of tradition in higher education, but most importantly, to honor the hard work by your graduates, we would ask you to stand for the procession of the graduates.
Please remain standing for the invocation given by Dr. Robert White. The invocation will be followed by the national anthem led by Ms. Caressa Lovern.
I would like to begin the invocation with a moment of silence for Dr. Sidney Sandridge, who served as our president here at Athens State, then Athens College, from the years 1970 until the year 1981. As a matter of fact, this will date me, but he was the president when I was a student here. Would you join me in a moment of silence as we remember? Thank you. For the invocation, I offer a phrase that my mentor and teacher, he served as a dean here as well, Dr. Curtis Coleman. It was one of his favorite phrases. So this is the invocation, and one is graduating class you can remember well. Stop, look, and listen. He loved that phrase. He used it often. He talked about as a child how it was ingrained in him to be very attentive, especially around train tracks and at crossroads. As a matter of fact, late in his life, he put together a little book of articles that he had written, and he entitled it, Stop, Look, and Listen. And I thought that would be an appropriate invocation. Stop. Be still. Be here in this moment. Take it in, this moment of celebration. The psalmist wrote, Be still and know that I am God. Stop. Look. To look is to notice, it's to be awake. The story goes that when Buddha started to wander around India shortly after his enlightenment, his students sometimes stopped and would ask him, Are you a god? No, he replied. Are you a reincarnation of a god? Nope. A wizard? No. Then what are you? And Buddha replied, I am awake. Look. Be awake. Take it in. This moment. This moment you waited for. To be awake. And finally, to listen. Frederick Buechner wrote, Listen to your life and see it for the mystery that it is, for all moments are key moments, and life itself is grace. So today, for the invocation, stop, look, and listen, and rejoice in this moment.
Oh, say, can you
You may be seated. At this time, I ask that you please turn off all phones and other electronic devices. Welcome, honored guests, friends, family, faculty, staff, and graduates to Athens State University's spring commencement. We are gathered today to celebrate the accomplishments of these men and women. On this very happy occasion, I salute you, graduates. Congratulations on achieving this milestone in your life. There are others who share your joy on this special day and who were there to support you. Your mothers and fathers, grandparents, spouses, children, brothers, sisters, and friends. Please join me in showing your gratitude to them for all they have done to help you realize your goal. It is also my privilege to acknowledge the gifted and generous women and men, the faculty and staff of Athens State University, who walked with you through this educational experience. In particular, your faculty modeled good scholarship for you. They have shown you the world through their disciplines, they have challenged you, and now they are here to celebrate your success. I invite you to join me in recognizing their efforts and in thanking them for all that they have done. At this time, I want to recognize some of the individuals assisting in today's ceremony who are present with us here. Please stand as I recognize you. Today's commencement marshal is Professor Pamela Keller, Professor of Art. Serving as faculty marshal is Dr. Bruce Thomas, Professor of Public Safety and Health Administration. The mace bearer is Dr. Vanessa Miller, Assistant Professor of Psychology. And the Student Honor Marshal for the College of Arts and Sciences is Taylor Logan Smith. It is an honor to introduce to you the people on the stage today. To my right is the President of Athens State University, Dr. Bob Glenn. Our commencement speaker today is the Honorable Tommy Battle. Our special guests include Dr. Joe Brasher, Professor Emeritus and organist, Mrs. Carissa Lovern, vocalist, Dr. Hugh Long, Assistant Professor of English and Drama announcer, Dr. Ron Fritzy, Dean, College of Arts and Sciences. Mr. Mike McCoy, Vice President for Financial Affairs. Dr. Keith Ferguson, Vice President for University Advancement. Dr. Jackie Smith, Assistant Vice President for Academic Affairs. Mrs. Belinda Kriegel, Associate Vice President and Chief Information Officer. Ms. Sarah Maccabee, Vice President for Enrollment and Student Support Services. Dr. Robert White, Associate Professor of Religion. And Mr. Ronnie Chronister, Athens State University Board of Trustees. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a privilege to present the 36th President of Athens State University, Dr. Bob Glenn.
You may have noticed, as I did earlier today, that the one who does all the introductions does not himself get introduced. So I'd like to say, stand when I call your name. Dr. Joe DeLapp, Provost. You will notice on today's graduates, a number of them are wearing cords or sashes or medallions, and each of these have special meaning, and we want to recognize some of those meanings. To begin with, you'll see a number of our graduates who are wearing cords that are red, white, and blue in color. And those are individuals who are either veterans of our armed forces or in active service presently. I'd like to ask all of those among our graduates who are wearing the red, white, and blue cords to stand so that we may honor your service. The other cords, sashes, and medallions recognize academic achievement, and we want to honor that. To begin with, we start with those students who are graduating today cum laude, which is Latin for with honors. Those are individuals who are graduating with a 3.5 to 3.69 GPA. If you're graduating today cum laude, would you please stand and be recognized? The next designation is magna cum laude, or with high honors. If you're graduating today magna cum laude, would you please stand and be recognized? And finally, there are those graduates who are graduating with highest honors, or summa cum laude. Those are students who are graduating with a 3.9 to 4.0 GPA. If you're graduating today summa cum laude, please stand to be recognized. Thank you. We honor those with high academic achievement, but we want all of our graduates to know that we honor them as well, and I particularly like to honor those who graduated as I did many years ago. Thank you, laude. That's a true story. I'd now like to bring to the podium the Vice Chairman of our Board of Trustees to bring you greetings from the board. Please welcome forward Mr. Ronnie Chronister.
Thank you, Dr. Glenn, and good afternoon. I'm Ronnie Chronister. I'm a member of the Athens State University Board of Trustees. On behalf of the board, I bring you greetings and welcome you here today to this ceremony. The board would also like to congratulate each of you and your families and your friends on this special day. Thank you very much.
And since we are honoring those who are special guests, I want to honor someone who will not anticipate my asking him to stand and be recognized, and that is Dr. Ron Fritzie. I'd ask him to stand because Dr. Fritzie has been the Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences for 12 years. This will be his last commencement as the Dean of the college. He is transferring back to the faculty full-time. Would you please help me in honoring Dr. Fritzie's service to this institution? Today we will be participating in a century-old tradition that dates back to the Middle Ages, that of awarding an honorary doctorate. Some institutions of higher learning decided to grant honorary degrees to individuals in the community as a mark of honor and respect. In some cases, the degree was clearly used as a reward for granting funds, lands, or other gifts to the community, while in other instances, such degrees were awarded for accomplishments such as developing new scientific equipment. European universities began granting degrees for the sake of the honor, honoris causa, in the 15th century. The first such degree was awarded at Oxford University in 1478 or 1479 to Lionel Woodville, Dean of Exeter, the brother-in-law of Edward IV and the future Bishop of Salisbury. These were essentially academic peerages, entitling the recipient to full privileges in the university, privileges that were much more extensive than they are now. At the same time, universities conferred degrees on certain scholars whose career achievements warranted such recognition. The first honorary degree awarded in America was an honorary doctorate of divinity degree conferred by Harvard University in 1692 on its president, Increase Mather. Honorary doctorate degrees are not earned through academic achievement, rather through generous and altruistic actions or lifetime accomplishments that benefit a community, nation, or humanity in general. The recipient of an honorary degree of humanity and today's commencement speaker earned a bachelor's degree in business from the University of Alabama. In 1984, he was elected to the Huntsville City Council, where he served as finance chair. Through his leadership, he assembled a coalition of regional leaders committed to recruiting industry workforce development and high-quality education. He is currently serving his third term as the 67th mayor of the city of Huntsville. Today, Athens State University is honored to confer an honorary degree, an honorary doctorate of humanities upon an individual whose career has been marked by many significant accomplishments. Please join me in honoring the Honorable Thomas M. Battle, Jr.
Thank you, Dr. Glenn, and I am honored. I thought it was very fitting as Dr. White was giving us words to live by when he started talking about stop, look, and listen. And just as he finished listen, the train whistle came on and the train started going back down the track. Probably a very fitting thing for each of us today to stop, look, and listen and put an emphasis on what we do. But to President Glenn, the distinguished faculty, thank you for inviting me to be here today, and to our graduates and guests. I am truly honored to share this experience with you, and this is a great experience. It's one that you will remember forever and ever. You may not remember who spoke, but you will remember getting that degree. When I started thinking today about my commencement remarks, I realized that many of you here are not necessarily the 20-something-year-old wide-eyed people who are headed into this world. You've been there. You've made sacrifices. You've made sacrifices both personally and professionally with your families, your work, and finance, and those sacrifices you've made have been made to advance your education. To you, I say congratulations. I believe that you are here because you recognize that awards come both in knowledge and experience. And most of you have had the rare opportunity to return to education after some worldly seasoning. And congratulations on that, because I think that is a good thing. It's something that makes your learning experience much richer. From my view, everything starts with education. We could have none of the successes that we have here in North Alabama without an educated workforce, without the education that we have on a day-to-day basis. No community can be successful without education. From pre-K to postdoctorate and beyond, it's the root of human understanding and achievement. From the time you were born, everything is a marvel and wonder, and everything is an educational experience. Every encounter is a chance to devour some new piece of information. That lifelong educational experience should never end. And remember this, education is eternal. It doesn't stop here. It didn't stop when you got out of high school. It won't stop when you get your doctorate. Education is eternal. The learning process never ends. Each day, every month, every year is a graduation of some sort. We learn something every day. And as we take that something that we learn every day, we turn it into something that makes us better people. As mayor of Huntsville, I'm often asked how I arrived at this point, and it certainly wasn't a straight line. I grew up in Birmingham, and as soon as I was old enough, I was working in the kitchens of Britling's cafeteria as assistant to the cleanup person, which is about the lowest you can get on the job scale right now. I worked in my father's restaurant, in the coke and steel foundries, and later in the shipyards of Mobile to put myself through school. And I graduated from the University of Alabama with a degree in business and went to work in a restaurant, working 70 hours a week. My one goal was to get back to college. I thought that would be a great thing. But no, you couldn't go back, and you can't go back. But I used the knowledge gained from my business degree to carry on a business, to carry on a restaurant. I was the accountant, I was the PR manager, I was the HR manager. I was also the pot washer and the cook every once in a while. But all of it was an experience that brought something home and gave me an education. And then, as I transitioned into another world, I transitioned into the real estate world and again went back to school. and got certifications and got training so that I could know more than everybody else. And I learned my certification as a commercial broker. I was learning new skills, and I found that all the previous skills that I'd learned culminated into those new skills and made it better and made us better people. Each of you have those new skills, those old skills that you put together, and when you add them all up, they make for experiences that make you a better person, make you a better worker, make you a better person to work with. Part of your education is formal, and then part of it you receive here at this outstanding college. And part of it is real life. What you discover out there, both are important. The formal education and the college education. But one without other is only half of the equation. Personally, for me, another big part of my preparation also comes from my faith. That leads me back to Athens right here. 85 years ago, my grandfather was minister here at First Methodist Church. And back then, Athens College, as it was known then, was part of the Methodist Church. And he earned his honorary doctorate here. So years ago, we have a connection that years ago connects back to this today. So he believed in education, and that's why he worked here. He believed both in academic and spiritual education, and it was a lesson that was passed down to my father, and from my father to me, and from myself to my son. For all my professional training, it's been the spiritual training that has taught me how to treat others. It helps me become a better manager. It influences how I treat others and shapes a philosophy where working with people and building relationships, going into your future roles, whatever they may be, having compassion for your fellow man, your bosses, your coworkers, your employees, your family, and all those who surround you. That's what will make you successful. You have to have compassion for your fellow man. I'm reminded of times in the past today. You are on the long journey, and you've been on that long journey. And you've been climbing hills, and you've climbed the hill, and after you climb the hill, you can see the mountain ahead of you. You see a beautiful vista, and you see the mountain ahead of you. And then you look at the mountain ahead of you, and once you climb it, you get to the top of it, you look, and there's more mountains ahead of you. But you've achieved something today. You have climbed the mountain, you've achieved something. You are going to be someone who makes a difference in this world. And from here, you're going to see other mountains that you have to climb. But to you, I say, take some time today. Take some time and be sure and look back. Take some time to recognize the grandeur of what you've done. The grandeur of the valleys that you look behind you, or the grandeur of the things that you've experienced and what you've done. Look at those and make sure that you revel in what you have accomplished, and then turn your face back again to the mountains ahead of you in the future. The mountains ahead of you are your future. And as you climb those mountains, you will find great success. You've had a lesson here. The lesson here at this college has been the lesson of how to be successful. And today, you are going to climb that mountain and then take that next step on that next journey that takes you to the future. Congratulations today. Congratulations on this moment. You deserve it. And I want to thank you for including me in this joyous celebration. This has been a lifelong journey. Your lifelong journey is your journey of education. And as you take that lifelong journey of education, you will be more and more and more successful. Congratulations on your graduation today.
Thank you for those inspiring words. We now come to the part of the ceremony that you've all been waiting for. Would the candidates from the College of Arts and Sciences please stand? Dr. Glenn, the candidates who stand before you today and whose names will be called have met all the requirements necessary to receive the Bachelor of Arts or the Bachelor of Science. On behalf of the faculty, I recommend their degree be conferred.
By the authority granted to me by the state of Alabama and the Athens State University Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon each of you the degree of Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the graduating class of Athens State University. Now then, if you would please be seated for just a moment. I have just a bit of instruction I need to give to you. In just a moment, you're going to be led forward by the undergraduate marshal who will bring you up here to the stage, and you will give your card to Dr. Long here, who will attempt to pronounce your name correctly. No matter what he says, please walk across the stage afterwards. You'll find me over here holding your diploma. You will have to shake my hand to get it. When you do so, I'll ask you to look at the camera. There'll be a very nice person right here taking a picture of you suitable for framing. You'll then exit the stage and go right back here in the corner where you'll have another picture taken, also suitable for framing. You'll then come back to your seat and have a seat. Now, for those of you in the audience, all the family and friends who are gathered here, this is a great day, and I know your hearts are filled with joy and excitement, and you will want to shout out when your graduate's name is called. Go ahead. Hoop and holler and shout and stand up and clap, do whatever you want until your graduate gets to me, and then hush. Because there'll be someone else waiting to make that journey, and I know you don't want to shout over their special day. We're very proud of our graduates. We're proud of what you've done. We're going to be prouder yet of what you will do. So I would ask you now to please come forward at the direction of the marshal to receive your degree.
Would Dr. Ron Fritzy, Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences, please come forward to greet the graduates?
Colby Nicholas Adams, summa cum laude. Ian Cooper Albright. Peyton Gray Allen, magna cum laude. Judy Faye Bagwell, summa cum laude. Courtney Chantel Ben. Shelley Marie Bess. Geneva Catherine Blackmer, magna cum laude. Breonna Taylor King. Marlo Nicole Brasher. Stephen Colin Brasher. Amanda Sue Breeding, cum laude. David Brosnan, cum laude. Ronald Coleman Bryant. Craig Wynn Calvert, magna cum laude. Savannah Rose Cardwell, cum laude. Rachel Sabrina Chapman, cum laude. Sydney Currington Chappell, summa cum laude. Shakia Nebreka Christian. Edna Moore Cole. Shakira Colon. Hunter Allen Cox, magna cum laude. John Christopher Cox. Matthew Joseph Crow. Sienna Ray Delgado. Hannah Renee Dollar. Deborah L. Goins. Joy Patrice Gopher. Tanisha M. Harris. Dylan James Harvey, magna cum laude. Kathleen Joyce Lee Henderson, summa cum laude. Madison Ray Hicks, summa cum laude. Natasha Leanne Holcomb, magna cum laude. Larry James Holman Jr. Emily Clay Hopkins, cum laude. Daniel Todd Hughes, cum laude. Macy Ann Hughes. Vanity L. Hunley, magna cum laude. Daniel Breckenridge Johnson, magna cum laude. Dean Parker Johnson. Julie Earwood Jones. Andrew Michael Jordan, cum laude. Dana Janelle Kelso. Hannah E. Kilpatrick, magna cum laude. Jensen Claire Kirby. Tiffany Dawn Kulik. Brooke Lee Kirkendall, cum laude. Jennifer Marie Pennington Lockhart. Lexi Cheyenne Lynn. Bethany Gabrielle Madewell, magna cum laude. Andrea Matthews. Garrett Kimball McCurley.
Dad jokes.
David Joseph Medina. Kara Ann Merchant.
Carlisle. I'd like to make sure.
Sylvia Carlisle Miller. Jonathan Ray Mills. Pamela Lynn Millwood. Johnny Ray Morgan, cum laude. Adam Moses. Anna Laura Odell, cum laude. Eleni Denicia Maxine Patton. Kaylin Marie Rogers.
Alexandra Danelle Salomonsky. Okay, Corbin.
Alexandra Danielle Salomonsky Corbin. Amanda Lynn Sanderson.
Christopher Schmoll.
Richard Christopher Schmoll. Casey Browning Scott, cum laude. Denzel Silas Sears, summa cum laude. Braden Nicole Sellers. Megan H. Shores. Troy Loftus Slay. Danita Casey Smith, summa cum laude.
Kristen Lane Smith. Lane. Good.
Kristen Lane Smith, magna cum laude. Marshall Lee Smith, summa cum laude. Aaron K. Sutterth. Carmen Justine Sullivan. Stephanie M. Sons, cum laude. Cynthia Carol Taylor. Daniel Dwayne Taylor. Hope Marie Thompson. Anna Teresa Tishka, cum laude. Stephanie Weathers. Lucretia A. White. Larry Jason White.
Trying to go slow there. He's put up on me.
Michaela Jordan.
Michaela Jordan White, magna cum laude. Emily Carol Williams, cum laude. Lindsay McKay Wilson. Daniel Joseph Young, summa cum laude.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you the graduating class of Athens State University. Please be seated. Well, now that wasn't half bad. It was your first standing O. First of many, I'm sure. Now, there's just a couple more things that we need to tell you about. The first is to remind you that you did not arrive here today alone. The Olympian Wilma Runoff said, wherever you are in life, someone helped you get there. You are today surrounded by the people who figuratively and literally got you here today. It is the mark of an educated person to know to be grateful and to know to say thank you. Do not leave this place today without saying thank you. Now, I'm serious. I'll find you and take your degree right back. If you are truly an educated person, you will put your arms around a neck today and say thank you. That's the mark of an educated person. To each graduate, I always say just one thing. Now, do good work. Some of you wonder about that. Some of you say, look, I've got a medal that shows I've already done good work. But I would remind you, this is not your conclusion. This is your commencement. You're not through with anything. You will be spending your whole life learning if you do it right. As evidence of that, I'd like to recognize one of our graduates today, Miss Edna Cole. Miss Cole, would you stand? Ms. Cole is the youngest at heart graduate today, and she has been taking one class at a time to get to this point today. Thank you, Ms. Cole. You never stop learning. You will be spending the rest of your time learning. And it's important also that you recognize that wherever you go from this point forward, that you are the sons and daughters of Athens State University. And people will look at you and they will judge this place based on what you do and what you accomplish. Some of you came here because you knew Athens graduates, your parents, or an aunt or uncle, or a colleague. You need to understand that as you go forth, wherever you go, you are Athens State University. And it is our expectation that you do good work, that you show this world who you are and who we are as a result. So go and do good work. We are proud of you. We are proud of what you accomplished. But we expect to be prouder still. We expect you to go out and do great things and show the world who you are and who we are. Go and do good work. Remembering all the time that everything you do with other people. Nothing of value that you will ever accomplish will you accomplish alone. But it requires your effort. It requires you to take initiative. I would remind you, since Mayor Battle mentioned his grandfather, who was a Methodist minister, we were, after all, a Methodist institution, I would remind you of the words of John Wesley. Do all the good you can by all the means you can, in all the ways you can, in all the places you can, at all the times you can, to all the people you can, as long as ever you can. Go and do good work. If you will do these things, we will be prouder still. Please rise. There's just one last thing to do. Move your tassels to the left. Congratulations. Now we would ask the audience to rise as well. We are going to conclude today's ceremony with another tradition. We've talked about traditions repeatedly. This tradition is the singing of the alma mater. Now I know all of my graduates know the alma mater, and I will be watching you to see that your lips are moving. But for those in the audience who might not be aware of the words, they are conveniently printed on the back of your program. And we would invite you to join us. The alma mater will be led by Clarissa Lovern, and then when she is concluded, the benediction will be led by Dr. Robert White. Once again, graduates, congratulations.
Northern border, reared again.
And so for a benediction, I would offer the benediction in the form of a challenge and a hope for all of you. Jürgen Moltmann, the theologian, said that in order to live freely and fully, we all have to learn to say yes to our own life. And that sounds easy enough, but there will be outward intimidations, there will be challenges and difficulties to overcome, and there will be inward fears, the fear of the unknown, the fear of failure. We all face a choice in life. We move forward, we grow, we take the chance, we risk, or we don't. So take this moment, this accomplishment in your life, and say yes, yes. And remember, as you go, you're never really alone. I hope that along the way you will hear a whisper, the one who whispers across the ages, I am with you always. May God bless you. You're dismissed.